What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, taking a look at my first battles in the Ultra Premier Cup featuring Tentacruel. And yes, this is the Hundo Tentacruel. It's best buddy now. It's level 41 technically, so not all the way maxed out even, but this thing puts in a ton of work. We are running Poison Jab, Scald, and Sludge Wave, which is actually the PB Poke recommended moveset, and nobody expects the Sludge Wave. With Sludge Wave, you can beat things like Walrein, like Lapras, things like Dragonite even, things like Gyarados if they don't shield the Sludge Wave. Like, it's absolutely great. It's a good core breaker. There are quite a few fighters. I'm talking about things like Scrafty and Obstagoon in this cup. Even I saw Shadow Machamp yesterday. And Tentacruel is just going to destroy those things. I love it, man. This thing's been a lot of fun for me. It has helped me climb. I played 3 sets and only 3 sets with it yesterday. You can see I climbed almost, actually over 100 elo, exactly 101 elo with this team, 5-0-3-2-3-2. So the 5-0, of course, was the big climbs, and then 3-2s helped out a little bit after. But yeah, I recommend this team. Scrafty also, by the way, in this video, not all the way powered up. I have it 3 power-ups short right now. I normally run it best buddied, but since I was running Tentacruel best buddied, can't have both. And when I run it then it's only 1 power-up short. And I just don't have the XL candies because I don't hatch that many 12k eggs. I try to stay as free to play as I can. Like, occasionally I spin on raids or whatever, but never on egg incubators. So that's why I don't have the XLs right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump on into some of these battles. Go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're running in the Ultra Premier Cup. By the way, maybe I'll be legend by the time this comes out. I'll be live streaming before this comes out with my normal climb team, my Gyarados, Escav, and Trevenant. If you haven't seen those videos, I will link them in the description down below. But anyway, let's get it going. All right, so next one, Tentacruel into Ampharos, Shadow Ampharos. Very cool pick, and definitely not something Tentacruel wants to see. So I am going to be safe swapping into Swampert. Yes, Swampert is my hard answer. However, Scrafty is just too risky of a safe swap in my opinion, right? If a fairy comes out, then you're just destroyed. And yeah, Tentacruel does answer for fairies, but if it's like a Sylveon, then they're going to leave with Psyshocks, and you don't want to see that. So we come in with Swampert. We do lure out a Walrein. Not necessarily what I was trying to lure out, but hey, that's all right. I should be able to take shield advantage here. I can just go straight for the second Earthquake, but I decided to bait. And I don't know why I decided to bait. In hindsight, this is a dumb bait because it goes unshielded. Luckily, they do allow me to get to this next Hydro Cannon. I believe they were already at the Icicle Spear. They could have thrown it before, but we do get it off, so that's beautiful. We'll go ahead and take the shield advantage, let Tentacruel come in and just farm this Walrein down. They should not be able to make it to another charge move, and if they do, it's only going to be an Icicle Spear. And yeah, we get the Poison Jab down. So Ampharos will be coming back in. We're going to be swapping out aggressively into the Scrafty, and they're staying in, telling me they're probably weak to Scrafty in the back. I'm going to go ahead and just throw the Power-Up Punch. We're just going to try to punch through this entire team. We got 2 shields and a Scrafty, and Scrafty's just stupidly broken. You're going to see a ton of that in this video. So yeah, they throw the Zap Cannon, so we can go ahead and show that up. I was just expecting a Focus Blast, honestly, but Zap Cannon, definitely scary as well. In the back, they have Obstagoon, so we're just going to go ahead and raise our attack back up with the Power-Up Punch. We're going to be able to counter down from this point. I do have to respect the Cross Drop. Cross Drop would be near lethal. They go Night Slash, and they do get the boost. So, like, yeah, they got the advantages that they wanted, but it's just not going to be enough. Scrafty's too good. We're going to be able to throw another Power-Up Punch in the middle of the Volt Switch here, threatening the final shield off my opponent. And at this point, we just make it to another Power-Up Punch. That's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Not really any strong answers for Scrafty, so that did help me out here. But GG's regardless. Alright, into the next one, Tentacruel into Jellicent. Horrible lead for Tentacruel, right? Everything that we throw will be resisted by Jellicent, so I will be safe swapping into my Swampert and luring out an Alolan Ninetales. Now, this is actually my first time running Swampert in the Ultra League, and I did not know how good this thing is. Like, I know it was good. I've faced Swamperts. I've seen other people use Swampert, but oh my goodness. Throwing the second Hydro Cannon here, grabs a shield from this A9. Going to be able to overfarm. I could have thrown on alignment there. I didn't want to give them a free charm though. So we will throw up a shield here with the Weather Ball. Throw one more mud shot and then another hydro cannon. This should be grabbing the second shield from my opponent. And look at this, 2 more mud shots. We're already there. So Swampert able to take both shields from a Charmer and still keep Switch. What else does that doesn't resist Charm? Absolutely insane. I love all 3 of these Pokemon. I know I feel like I'm overhyping them all, but at the same time, like, they were so good for me yesterday. Each of them put in so much work. So in the back, Pidgeot, we're going to come in with our Tentacruel. Throw in the Scald, because if I went for Sludge Wave, they would have been able to get the Feather Dance off first, or potentially the Brave Bird, of course. So I wanted to make sure that I had the damage in before I get 2 stages debuffed with the Feather Dance, which you're going to see. I know shield. If they would have thrown the Brave Bird, I could just counter down with Scrafty. So no reason to shield there. They know it's over at that point. That's going to be GG's. Well played. All right, into the next one. Tentacruel into a shiny Obstagoon. So anytime I see the shiny Obstagoon, I just assume it has, what is it? Obstruct, right? So they might drop my defense here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Scald immediately because I want to throw it before they raise their own defense, and it will connect here. No attack drop. That's perfectly fine. They build up to the Hyper Beam. But again, when I see the shiny, I just assume Obstruct, so I'm not shielding. And it's a nice slash, so beautiful. They're going to be swapping out here and bringing in their own Tentacruel. So I go ahead and bank up to the Sludge Wave. Going to be coming in with my Swampert. Swampert, a pretty hard wall to Tentacruel, right? We're resisting all the poison jabs. All of our ground type attacks are going to be doing super effective. But you're going to see on the opposite side why Tentacruel can be so incredibly good here. Going to be going for the Earthquake. They throw up Shield. Now they're going to be able to outpace to this next Scald, and Swampert does have to respect this. You can see I'm already into the yellow just from 1 Scald plus the poison jabs. Going to be building up, over farming, going for another Earthquake. Hoping they let this one go through. Otherwise, they might be able to fight for Switch here. And Swampert's really my only answer for Tentacruel, right? And yeah, they shield. So I'm like, okay, we're going to shield. We're going to try to make it to another Earthquake. Not sure if I'll make it. But they throw the Acid Spray and immediately snipe with their Goon. Phenomenal play by my opponent. Phenomenal. Now, the right play for me here, since I am assuming Obstruct, was to come in with Scrafty, get the counter down, leave with close to a foul play. That way I could at least threaten their Tentacruel when it comes back in. But I come in with my own Tentacruel. I end up losing CMP. We get 1 extra poison jab since I undercharged, but I still don't have a great answer for their Tentacruel. We'll see if that's what they come back in with. They do. And that's a pretty big red flag to me that they're weak to my Tentacruel in the back. But I can't really swap yet. I gotta throw this Sludge Wave. And I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know. So I stay in. I hope that they Acid Spray me here and then I can, bank some energy and switch. But no, it's going to be the Scald in the back, Talonflame. So we definitely needed to get alignment at some point. Or at least come in with my Scrafty and get that energy lead. Because they're just going to be able to Brave Bird me here. That's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Yeah. Tentacruel really good on their side too, huh? Into the next one. Tentacruel into Umbreon. So, Umbreon could have Psychic. I do end up swapping out here. Because ultimately, yeah, I want to get my Scrafty on this. In hindsight, probably not the best play. Because a lot of Umbreons are going to have poison types in the back, right, to protect for their fighting and their fairy type weakness, and so they stay in. And I'm like, shoot! As soon as I saw they were staying in, I'm like, man, there's probably a Nidoqueen in the back. I bet there's a Nidoqueen in the back. But we're gonna play this the best that we can. I'm going to be throwing my next Hydro Cannon here, just chipping away slowly but surely. Umbreon's so stupidly bulky, but that's fine. We can go ahead and take another foul play. I think they're at the back-to-backs here. So that's the reason I don't throw a Mud Shot. I wanted to make sure that I got this Hydro off in case they threw the back-to-backs, but they don't throw it. Excuse me, had to burp. So, foul play gonna come through. We're gonna go ahead and let it take us out. Tentacruel is going to get a nice farm down here. If this is a Psychic, so be it. We'll take it, and it's a foul play. So, probably had no reason to fear this thing in the first place, but that's all right. We're going to Poison Jab down. We're close to a Scald if Nidoqueen comes in, but it's going to be a Skarmory. So another great answer for both fighters. And for fairies, I'm going to be throwing the Scald. I'm like, what do I do here, right? I pray for the attack drop, and we get the attack drop. Thank goodness. Now I am going to be calling the Sky Attack here. I believe they didn't build up to the Brave Bird, So pretty easy call since their attack was dropped. Going to get this next Scald off now. Do we get a second defense or attack drop? We don't, but that puts them low enough. Scrafty can counter down, and in the back, gonna be an S-Scab. I'm like, shoot, I'm hard countered again. Or am I? We're gonna go straight for the foul play. I've ran enough S-Scab that I know Scrafty can win this if you land the foul play. So we do that. Now we're throw the power up punch. Power up punch. Only reason we need the power up punch here is because if they didn't shield that, they only get off one charge move. So they had to shield that there. I can go ahead and use both of my shields. They are at the back-to-back drill runs. No big deal. We'll use both the shields here. And here it is. Scrafty just going to shine. Countering down the S-Scab. Throwing one more counter. Throwing the power punch. Grabbing the final shield from the Skarmory. And when I'm telling y'all this thing is broken, we're just going to punch down the Skarmory. Punching down the flyer. Surviving even. Like, it wasn't even like a simultaneous KO. So GG's, well played. Like, I feel like I had no business winning that one, but Scrafty's just that good. Into the next one, Gyarados lead, of course, running Dragon Breath. They will be hitting me with the Crunch, but y'all remember what I told y'all. Nobody respects the Sludge Wave. So Crunch going to come through. They do end up getting the defense drop here, which is unfortunate. You're going to see here in a minute why. But we're going for the Sludge Wave, and it takes them out, man. Like, they don't even expect it. They're expecting Acid Spray at worst, right? Or Scald, I guess, for the most damage. They come in with Dragonite. I recognize they're just going to get a farm down before I even make it to the Scald. I have to come in with Scrafty. Swampert really doesn't want to see this thing, right? My only answer for Dragonite is Tentacruel. So I'm going to go straight for the foul play. I'm like, this isn't lethal. They should not shield this. And they shielded it. I'm like, no, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, Dragonite? So now they throw one turn before I'm able to throw my foul play. And I do have to shield up this Dragon Claw. It would be lethal. And then they make this beautiful catch onto Steelix. Like, this catch, you're going to see, is so big for them. We're going to be able to do a ton of damage to this Steelix, even make it to another foul play, which will put them into the yellow, close to the red, to be honest. And now we can bring in Swampert onto this thing. Now, they do have access to Psychic Fangs now, which will be dropping my defense. So I don't want to shield up the first charge move here. It is going to be the Crunch. So I will be able to outpace before they get to the next Crunch. They do have close to the energy. I think they have the energy now. So we're going to be throwing the Hydro Cannon. They let it go. I'm like, no, this is not what you're supposed to do, trainer. But as long as I can make it to back-to-back Hydro Cannons, and we've seen how quick Swampert is, and we saw the Dragonite just through energy, right? We should easily make it. No big deal. They're in Hydro Cannon range, I'm pretty sure, or Hydro Cannon plus one Poison Jab. But they get the poison. They get the Dragon Claw off. As I'm reaching it, I'm like, oh, how did you have that energy? And then look, I'm like 2 turns short of making it to the Scald. So if they didn't get the defense drop at the beginning, we would have been perfectly fine. If they didn't make that catch, we would have been perfectly fine. But GG's, like, extremely well played battle. Into the next one, up against a Shadow Lapras. So not necessarily an amazing lead because they can Skull Bash me, but we're going to go for the Sludge Wave before they have a chance. And again, they just don't expect it. Puts them into the red, and at this point, they only have one shot to Skull Bash me. So I can safely throw up the shield. Since they do throw the Skull Bash, they are going to be able to make it to a Surf, right? Because Skull Bash raises their defense. But we're going to be able to tank that no problem and Poison Jab down. If they throw the Surf first, they don't make it to the Skull Bash. So it was a very safe shield. We have energy on our Tentacruel. They're going to be coming in with an S-Scab. S-Scab is a pretty good answer for Tentacruel. However, when we're ahead on energy, it's not the best for them. Because you can see, Scald plus Poison Jabs, they're already in the yellow. That's the thing about S-Scab. Very glassy. It is. So we're going to throw the next Scald. We're going to grab a shield there. They're building up a ton of energy here. They CMP tie me on this next Scald. And I recognize that if I get their shields down, I can take them out with either a Hydro Cannon or a Foul Play. So I go ahead and throw up a shield. Going to be throwing the Scald now. I can come in with Swampert. I just need 5 Mud Shots to get there, but they do aggressively swap out into an Obstagoon. Which I'm like, you know, I've played enough Obstagoon. I haven't played a ton of Swampert, but I've played enough Obstagoon. I know how to win this. Need to land 1 Hydro Cannon plus 1 Earthquake, and that will be enough to take out the Obstagoon. So I'm actually going to even be able to overfarm just by a little bit since they weren't that quick on their swap. And we are going to throw on CMP here. This will be taking out the Obstacle. And Scav's so low health at this point, right? We have 3 Pokemon still alive. Going to be able to make it to the Hydro Cannon, but they do throw right before I get there. Good counting by my opponent. Actually, they could have thrown one more counter, and Scav does win CMP 100% of the time. But regardless, Scrafty is just going to come in, counter down. You're going to see the Mega Horn, though. Mega Horn does a ton. But that's going to be GG's. And that's going to be it for today's video. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're running in Ultra Premier, if you're running Ultra Premier, or are you running in Open. But thank you so much to my channel members. And until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.